Hello, my sweet friends. Welcome to the Art Cake Coach podcast. My name is Cristina Revalo. I'm a sugar paste modeling artist, a teacher, a coach for cake artists, Cake Friends Day creative community manager, award winning cake decorator, and representative of international cake competitions. I'm so happy to have you here. If you are a cake artist, a cake enthusiast, or a baker who is seeking some help in anything related to your time management, social media management, setting your goals for yourself or your business, your mindset towards your business, or even a few hints of how to be part of the international cake community, cake collaboration, and cake competitions, you are in the right place. So, welcome to today's episode. Hello, my sweet friends. Welcome to the Art Cake Coach podcast. Christina here. I'm so happy to have you back today. This is the last episode of 2022, a very special year for me because it's the year that this started, and I am so thankful for grabbing this microphone one day in May and deciding to start this adventure because it really has been a game changer for me, and this is one of the most fulfilling activities that I do amongst all the activities that I do in the art cake experience. So this episode is the last of 2022 and is dedicated to all of you, to the people who has been with me here in the Art Cake Coach podcast through these months, and hopefully will continue being here with me for next year and many years to come. Today's episode is, like I said, is the last one of 2022, is the last one of the year. So I want to leave this year, this 2022, where things started to get back to normal, with a little thank you note to, and to everything that happened during this year, um, sharing with you some tips on how to make your year amazing next year, 2023. And also, I wanted to share with you something that I wrote on my blog. Yes, I used to have a blog, I don't have it anymore. I switched the blog for this. So I used to have a blog and I used to write a lot in there. And I wrote an article, I think it was on at the end of 2020, the year of the pandemic, going to 2021. And I wanted to share with you a few of the things that I wrote there because I think even though life has changed a lot since 2019 and since 2020, a lot of things are still valid. So stay with me, listen to this last episode of 2022, and thank you so much for being here this year. And before we start this episode, I want to remind everyone here at the Art K Coach podcast that the coaching group, our private group, is officially open for enrollment for only 20 euros a year. That's it, guys. Only 20 euros a year. You can be part of this private Facebook group and have access to coaching sessions with me, group coaching sessions. That is not going to be a live event, it's going to be a session in a Zoom class that we can talk and interact to each other. And that will be from January to February. We're going to work on our goal setting. From March to April, time management. From May to June, social media. And from July to September, teaching your craft. You will also have 50% off in any special activities done in the Art Cake School, like special group coaching from October to December, individual coaching sessions at 50% off, and online classes and tutorials. You will have access to exclusive content for members of the group on sugar paste modeling, classes, tutorials, coaching, and gelatin art. I cannot wait for you to come and join this very personalized experience and let me help you with your cake journey and your business in 2023. I will be leaving the link for more information here in the description of this episode, but it's very simple. Just request access to the group and I'll send you a private message with all the necessary information on how to do your payment through PayPal. Very simple, very easy, only 20 euros a year, and you will have access to lots and lots of activities for your cake business. I cannot wait to see you there. So, as you know, and you just listened to this little advertise that I have here in the podcast, the coaching group is open for enrollment, still open for enrollment. I'm going to leave it open for as long as anyone wants to enjoy. To join, sorry, well, and to enjoy it too, but I want to leave it open for as much as I can because I truly believe that that you could benefit so much from the things we're going to do. We already started with the Spanish group, which has been amazing. My Spanish friends are the best. Um, and we already started setting our goals for 2023. And with the group in English, we will start on January. It's been a great idea that. It's been a great thing that have to have this private group because I really can manage to work with you closely and to sit down with you and really decide or really help you decide what you're going to do next year, how you're going to set your goals. So of course this beginning of the year is going to be all about goals and resolutions, and we cannot leave the year, we cannot do this final episode of 2023, or I'm sorry, of 2022. I'm already 1 year ahead. That's not good, Christina. Um, Without thinking of what do I want for next year. So one of the first things that we do, or that I do in between December and January, is to sit down, write my thank you list for everything that happened in this year, and also set my goals for the next one. Now, funny thing, and this was not in the program for this episode, but funny thing, I enrolled on a coaching program myself, that started on the 25th of December. Weird date to start a coaching program, but it actually has been really good and fun because I didn't realize after between Christmas and New Year's, you have you kind of have a few, free time. So I had the chance to dedicate this free time to this new coaching experience that I'm enrolled in. I'm a student there, and I'm learning so much from it. And funny enough, I had all my goals set and everything done before the beginning of 2023. I had my notebooks, I bought my agenda, my new agenda, I bought everything that I had, my notebook just for my goals and aspirations, and have acknowledgement sessions and accountability sessions and all of that. And I started doing this coaching thing um, on the 25th, and I realized that half of the things I wrote were like, no, 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 I'm not, no, this is not going to work, or this is why am I focusing on this, or why am I focusing on that. And one of the things that I learned um through this coaching program is that, because yes, we're always learning, and this is the fun of this. I'm giving you things that I'm already using and learning and experiencing, so I won't share with you anything that I don't test first and that I know is working. And my goal setting plan was perfect last year, but I realized you can still learn and you can still renew the things that you uh, implement and the things that you know. So it has been a great closure for 2022 to realize that, as specific as I was with my goals, I needed to be a little bit more specific and focus on one thing at a time. So that's one of the biggest takeaway from this year, because I do a lot at the same time. And once I was talking to my coach, to my personal coach, and she said to me, "This is that's you. You cannot function otherwise. You need to have a lot of things in your plate. There's people who can work like that. There's people who thrive like that. There's people who don't. You do. So yes, I tend to have a lot of things on my plate at the same time, and when I don't, I feel like there's something missing. But being specific is very important. So goals and resolutions is the first thing we're going to take care, because I went far away with this conversation. But this is all to say that the coaching group is open, the private coaching group. one group in Spanish, one group in English, and we're really working on goal setting. And we already started working on goal setting. And I will be sharing in the group everything that I'm learning right now, because it's really good, not only for you as a person, but for your business as a cake artist. So if you want to join the private coaching group, you still can, you can whenever you want, because all of the things that we do are going to be recorded, and I'm going to be left there for you to see later. So remember, if you want to join, I'm going to be leaving the links here in this episode, and just ask to join. I will send you all the details on how to do the payment, the yearly payment, in order to participate. Now, today's episode, the idea of today's episode, of course, was to say goodbye to 2022, to be thankful for everything that we have achieved, that I have achieved, and that you have achieved, we have achieved together, to be thankful for all of our accomplishments, the cake groups, the awards, the magazines. And I actually have been doing that on my social media. I've been posting different posts about all the cakes that I did this year, the magazines that I was featuring, the what else did I do? The cake collaborations I was in, teaching. I mean, I've been doing a lot of things. This podcast, and the other day I received a comment outside of the social media, but I received a comment from somebody I know saying, "Oh, you're kind of narcissist." I was like, "What mean narcissist? Why?" Because you're sharing all of the things that you have achieved. I say, who else is going to do it? I'm not going to wait for anybody else to share the things that I have achieved. I have to be my biggest cheerleader. I think I mentioned this in an episode before. And I was like, no, you don't, you're getting it you're getting it wrong. And that's another takeaway I want to leave you with this last episode of the year. You have to be your biggest cheerleader. Celebrate your accomplishment. Show it to the world. Who cares whatever they think about? You did it. You accomplished it. It was your effort, it was your hard work. So I want to invite you to go to my social media, and underneath all of the posts that I have shared, share your wins, share your accomplishments of 2022 and back if you want to, because who else is going to be your biggest cheerleader? So, yes, I've been working on setting the goals. I've been working on being thankful for everything that I have achieved, showing to the world and being my own cheerleader about everything that I have achieved. And because that is a way of actually going back and saying, this worked, this didn't work. Because believe me, there's a lot of achievements, but there were also some failures, and there were also some things I had to let go. And the best way to cope with that is to focus on the positive, to focus on the good things, on the things that you achieved. And going back through the years, I found an article that I wrote back in 2020. That was the year of the pandemic. Cake Friends Stay Creative was created. We were going into 2021 with a little bit of expectation that things were going to be back to normal, which they were not totally normal. That was not totally true. But when I wrote this article in a very different environment that we are right now, and the funny thing is, I read it and I was like, it's funny because the world was totally different. The things that we expected were different, but there's so many things that are still valid about this article. So I want to share with you, and I want to read a little bit of that article, and and would love to know what you think about this. So you can leave me your comments and your thoughts on the social media post of this episode, because I really would love to know what do you think and how your life has changed, not before the pandemic, through the pandemic, but pandemic and post pandemic, because I think that is the key to moving forward. So let me read to you a little bit of this article that I wrote back in 2020. Here we are, this time of the year when we all like to go back and check at what we did, make our resolutions for new beginnings on January 1st. Well, that could have been great for normal year, but we can all agree that 2020 was anything but normal and that one of the things we learned was to put things in a totally new perspective. So I don't want to just talk about this next year as if it will solve all my problems and having the blind hope that it will be better than this one since nothing can be worse than 2020. No, I want to really take things into a new perspective. I had so many resolutions last year, that would have been 2019. The online school, the blog, my YouTube channel, my cake business alongside with my teaching job. And then 2020 came and everything stopped. But did it? A blessing was about to come for me in the most unexpected way. Cake Friends Day Creative Group was born out of solidarity towards cake friends that were alone during the quarantine, and it opened doors that I couldn't imagine. I not only meet people from all over the world, amazing souls that now I can call my friends, but I had the chance for the world to get to know me. And the best part was that I got to get to know myself along the way. Through the eyes of my new cake friends, I saw my work being recognized. I have been invited to a great number of cake collaborations. I have been very active in the international cake community, which now has placed me amongst people that I admired and couldn't even dream to meet. I have taught and touched people from all over the world. My work has been featured in magazines, cake competitions, and more. My biggest gift from 2020 is that thanks to now 4,500 members, we're close to 8,000 right now, of our groups, and so many new friends and followers, I found myself. My biggest gift from 2020 is that thanks to now, the by the time was 4,500 members of our group and so many new friends and followers, I found myself. I'm sorry, I repeated the line. I found a purpose that goes beyond cakes. I found that I can help others and that all of you have helped me. I'm not sorry to say thank you, 2020. So, New Year's resolutions? No way. I'm done with New Year's resolutions. I now believe in hard work, focus, achievement, help others, grow, and just keep looking ahead for the next opportunity to learn. I can only ask for strength and perseverance. If just I just want to keep growing and learning for me, for you, and because that is how you face an uncertain future, and that is the only sure thing I learned this year. So keep strong, my friends, stay safe, and most of all, stay creative. Well, this was the article that I wrote on 2020, going into 2021. I laughed along the way. I even repeat a line because I was laughing and I wasn't paying attention. Um, it, it, it was 4,500 members by the time. We're double it now, 8,000 something. I think we crossed the barrier of the 8,000. Sorry, my tongue got twist there. And but it's funny because all of the things that I highlighted in the article, like I wanted to take things in new perspective. I got to get to know myself along the way. I found a purpose that goes beyond cakes. I found that I can help others and that I have by that I can help me. um I say I don't believe in New Year's resolutions, and I don't anymore. I'm still hard on that one. I don't believe in New Year's resolution. I believe in goal setting because what I believe is in hard work, focus, achievement, help others grow, and just keep looking ahead for the new opportunity to learn. I mean, still as valid today as it was on 2020. The funny thing is, we don't have a pandemic anymore, of course. We're already out of our houses. We're not wearing masks or using gel for everything we do. But the economy has been uncertain this last trimester of the year, and we don't know what's going to happen next year with our businesses. Um, Things change so much. People got used to work from home and work remote and work online that we don't know if that's going to keep going or we're going to go full time back to work outside of our homes. I mean, so many things keep changing. Everything has been so fast. a little note. I was talking to my daughter the other day, um, and we were, generally speaking, we can say that people has grown older in this past, what, 3 years, since 2020 to now, these past 2 years, um, that in a rapid or in an increasing way, more than it would have been without everything that happened. And you can note that, I mean, I can feel it in myself, I can feel it in anyone, in everything in the world has grown older in this past 2 years, older than it should have been in 2 years. And all of that is because, I don't know if it is it because we were we were keeping a rhythm of growing and changing, that it was set. It was like, this is it. And you can calculate, you can plan, you can do, you can plan ahead, and then everything changed and it keeps changing. So it's funny because when I found this article, I realized that, I mean, even though we don't have a pandemic anymore, thank goodness, things haven't changed that much. My perspective haven't changed that much, and my goals for the next year, because they're not New Year's resolutions anymore, they're goals, are more or less still the same. So this is the core. When I realized that, I said, okay, this is the core of every single year, are starting our goal setting. Now, what changes, and this is what I learned this past couple of weeks, or this past week with the coaching program I'm in, is that the core is the same. What changes is how specific you are on what you want. I hope this episode is not too serious or taking you too. I mean, I'm saying a lot. I'm like, I'm all over the place today. I don't know if it's because I'm excited about the new year to come, or if I'm learning so much that I just want to share everything with you and I want to do everything with you. But anyway, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here. My message is the core of going through a new experience, a new year, a new beginning is more or less the same. Is really finding the perspective that works for you. Um, get to know yourself. First and foremost, get to know yourself, because that's the only way you know it's going to work. And find your purpose, work hard, be consistent, grow, and keep looking ahead for new opportunities to learn, for new opportunities to anything, new opportunities for business, new opportunities to learn, new opportunities to grow your cake business, to become a better cake decorator, new opportunities. In the coaching group that I'm in, the one that I'm taking, uh, the teacher, the coach said the other day, opportunities are like butterflies, and they come and they go. They land in your shoulder. If you don't grab it, they will fly away and land on somebody else's shoulder. It doesn't mean that you're lucky or not. It means that you were not paying attention, you didn't see the opportunity, and you didn't grab it. That was a big takeaway from that class. And I just want to share that with you. So, yes, we're starting a new year. And of course, I don't want to be too serious, and I want to leave you in this last episode of the year with it's not a sad note, but it's a very serious note. So I'm going to be offering you, as I always do, a little gift to start 2023 with some tips in order to make your year the best one you could have as a cake artist. Okay, so I want to share with you 12 steps to plan your best year yet. Like I said before, it's not about New Year's resolutions. Resolutions is when you go like, I want to lose weight this year. No, no, no. Goals. Because, and we've been talking a lot about goals, and we will keep talking about goals in January. Goals is when you set a roadmap and you set a date, and you know that's where I'm going, and this is how I'm going to get there. So, in order to get to have a great 2023, this is how you, or this is how I start, and this is what I want to share with you how you should start this year with these 12 steps. First, Reflect on the past. Think of the things that work and that didn't work. This is key because you don't want to be repeating. I used to have this behavior where I will go back into things that were, good in previous years and wanted to repeat them again with a new, with a new intake, with a new something. And almost all the time, I didn't manage to complete it because I wanted to do something. I mean, I didn't want to be stuck in things from the past. So I learned from it, and now I can do better this time. So reflect on the past, things that work and didn't work, but don't stay there. Don't stay on the past, it's not necessary. Let things go. It's okay to let things go. It's okay to say this didn't work. I'm going to let it go and I'm going to move on to new things. But of course, after you prove that it didn't work, don't just abandon things as a procrastinator. Don't. Just make sure that it didn't work. Think that was not for me. So let it go. Why? Because that gives you control. It's not a failure. That gives you control. Define who you are or you want to be. Not what you want to be or who you want to be. Decide who you are and who you want to be. This is key, and I didn't pay attention to this before because we had this idea that just keep growing and things keep happening. But actually, when you decide, no, I want to be this, I want to be this person recognized by this, having this amount of work or achieving these things, you create this persona in your head and it's easy to visualize it. So that goes to the next step. Visualize success. Have a vision board. uh, Daydream about the things that you want to achieve next year. Find your why. Number 5 is find your why, your purpose. Purpose is the fuel that will make you go to do anything. If you don't have a purpose, if you're doing things just because, if it's something mechanical, it's not going to work. So find your why. What is the reason you're doing whatever it is that you're doing? Number 6, deal with your fears or you won't overcome them. So my fellow cake artists, if you are afraid of stepping out of your comfort zone and showing your face on a tutorial on YouTube, this is the year to try it out. Or if you're afraid to call that client and tell them, or to tell your clients that your prices have changed because the economy is different and because it's your worth, this is your time to do it. So deal with your fear. Set goals. Like I said, it's not New Year's resolution. This is number 7. Set goals. I'm going to tell you a little bit of an inside story. Funny story. The other day, I went to buy my new agenda. I make a big deal of buying my new agenda, and I look for the perfect agenda for or planner for the next year. And there's a brand here in Portugal. I think it's everywhere, but here in Portugal, it's called Mr. Wonderful. That has beautiful. I'm not sponsoring anybody. I just like their agendas, and they have beautiful agendas full of positive things and stickers and sticky notes and stuff like that that I love. And it's been, I think, 2 or 3 years since I don't buy their agendas because I've been finding other ones that I like. So I went first to the store of the one that I bought last year. They didn't have it. I went to another store. They didn't have the one because I have to look at them and they have to tell me that this is the agenda for me. I know it sounds crazy, but I pick an agenda like I'm picking, I don't know, a new puppy. It's like it has to work for me. It has to have a connection with me. And then I went to the store of this store, Mr. Wonderful, where they have it's all about planners and agendas and cute little things. And I saw all the agendas they had. I opened them all. I was looking at them like, no, this is too small. No, this is too big. This has too little space to write. I like agendas where I can see all my week. So I can plan for the whole week, not daily, because I don't see what's next. So I was looking for it, and this lady comes behind me and said, "Oh, look so pretty. Those agendas are so cute. But I'm not gonna do an. I'm not gonna buy an agenda this year. I'm not gonna do an agenda." She says, "I'm not gonna do an agenda because I don't have time for that." And I was like, "Ooh." All my being went like, like, what? You don't have time for that because you don't have an agenda. That's the point. And I said I had to share this with my people in the in the podcast. My husband said, he was next to me, and he said, "You should have a card and just hand her a card." Say, I work for cake artist. I work with cake artist. She's probably not a cake artist, which gave me another idea to think about. Maybe I should expand to other than cake artists, because actually my mission is to help people with their time management and organizing their lives. So, but anyway, that's for another episode. But the funny thing is, she said, "I don't do an agenda because I don't have time for that." It's like, no, you don't have time for that because you don't have an agenda, because you don't plan your time. So, yeah, have set your goals, find an agenda, and organize your life. This is key in order to succeed and to achieve your goals for next year. Upgrade to new habits. This will be number 8. Upgrade to new habits. Implement them little by little. Like, if you don't imagine, I don't exercise. No, I do exercise sometimes, but imagine you're a person that you don't exercise, and you decide, well, I'm going to join the gym and I'm going to go every day, and I'm going to work out for an hour. Sorry to tell you, but it's gonna last a month. But if you implement new habits little by little, like, okay, I start by maybe walking outside, getting fresh air. Then I will join the gym, little by little, or something you want to do, meditate or read or learn. So upgrade to new habits little by little that will lead you to great results. Use a planner. Well, this will be similar to the agenda. Number 10, break down your goals into milestone and celebrate. Celebrate. I'm not going to sing. Break them into milestones, because if you have a goal by the end of the year and it's like you feel like you're not getting there, so break them into small goals or into small milestones that you can, first you can count them, you can celebrate them, you can have accountability every time you reach a milestone. So this is great in order to keep the positive spirit through the year. Have accountability sessions for your goals and milestones. Accountability sessions is to sit down and say, this is good, this is bad, this worked, this didn't work. So you can shift, you can change your course, you can decide what to do, if you keep going or if you stop. And number 12, make a bucket list of the things you look forward to. See this one, the things you're looking forward to. So you have things during the year. Usually, you have things during the year that you're like excited about. Maybe they're set, maybe they're not, but make that bucket list, because that will give you hope. And if it doesn't work for this year, it will work for next one. So let me just go back and just read very quickly each of the steps. Number 1, reflect on the past. Number 2, let things go. Number 3, define who you are. Number 4, visualize success. Number 5, find your why or purpose. Number 6, deal with your fears. Number 7, set goals. Number 8, upgrade to new habits. Number 9, use a planner. Number 10, break down your goals into milestones and celebrate. Number 11, have accountability sessions for your goals and milestones. And number 12, make a bucket list of the things you look forward to. So, this is my share with you to have a great 2023. The article that I read before was from 2020. Now we are in 2022, almost 2023. Actually, parenthesis, sorry this episode didn't air on a usual Tuesday, but I wanted to leave it for the last day of the year. Um, I can I can't but think how things keep changing, keep evolving, and for most of the parties, because we open ourselves to new beginnings and to new experiences. This podcast is my new Cake Friends Stay Creative of this year. When I read the article, I mentioned how Cake Friends Stay Creative changed my life, or changed the course of what I was doing. Now is the podcast. it is a blessing in disguise, as it was Cake Friends Stay Creative, and opened so many doors for me as Cake Friends Stay Creative was. So even though I'm a huge fan of goal setting, as I am, and planning, and I'm also a big fan of being flexible and understand that sometimes life takes you to places that you cannot imagine. When I started this year, I never thought I was going to have a podcast. The podcast was the last on my list. And it was because my husband kept telling me, you should have a podcast. You should have a podcast. And I'm like, yeah, no, well, okay. And look what happened. I decided to have it by May. It didn't start at the beginning of the year, it started in May. And look where I am now. But the key has been trust, timing, an open mind, mindset, and thankfulness. That has been the key. Hard work, consistency, and perseverance, respect for my time and the time of others, very important. That was a big takeaway of 2022. With that, my friends, I cannot say thank you enough for have been here with me during this year and this beginning of the podcast. I can promise you a lot, but I don't know what's going to happen next year. The podcast will continue for sure. Organizing a lot of fun and very juicy interviews so you can have more guests here in the podcast. I do have to say a big, big, big thank you to the sponsors, the people had been supporting me these years. Sarashino, Sylvia, if you're listening, thank you so much. Um, um, Kelly with Delicious Magazine, thank you so much for your support. Vladimir with the Cake Decorator Magazine, thank you so much for your support. We have new sponsors for next year that I will be talking about them next year. We have I am thankful for each one of you who have been there for me. My fellow cake friends who have been interviewed here in this podcast. Thank you so much for trusting me and for going in this adventure with me. Karen, Anastashkina, Miriam, love you, my sister from Ireland. Um, all of the people who has been supportive and sharing and giving me your feedback, the Cake Collective. Thank you so much for having a support also of this podcast this year. Um, and thank to each and everyone who's listening, wherever you're from. I got my review from Spotify, the review of 2022, and it was so fulfilling to know there's people in Turkey who's listening to this. Thank you so much, whoever you are. Thank you, who you are, because I promise just one person. But anyway, thank you so much. Greece, I mean, amazing, amazing. So thank you to all of you. Wishing you the best year so far, because the next one is going to be even better. Wishing you a lot of success, a lot of happiness, a lot of love and health, and a lot of love for yourself, for your work as a cake artist. And as always, my friend, I have nothing else to say. I will leave you as I'll always leave you. Sending you a big, 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 big hug. I wish I could hug you through this microphone. And telling you, as I always tell you, stay safe and stay creative. Bye bye, and have a great 2023. My sweet, sweet friend, if you liked this episode, if you love this podcast, I will kindly, kindly ask you to leave me a started review, whatever you're listening to this episode, that is available on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and I think a couple of other ones. But in any of those, just leave me a review, leave me a couple of stars or 5 stars if you like it. So people will find this episode, the algorithm would put it out there, and more of our K community will benefit from it. Share it with your friends. Download the episode and share them. Share them on your social media and tag me, because I will answer you back Of course, I will. And send me comments, send me your review, send me your feedback. Even if you don't agree with anything that I say, I would love to hear your opinion. You can find me in any of my social media accounts. I will be leaving the links here on this episode description. I'm on Facebook as The Art Cake Experience. I am on Instagram at Christina underscore The Art Cake Experience. Or you can even find me on YouTube, my YouTube channel, The Art Cake Experience channel. So thank you so much for listening. And please, please, please leave me your review and leave me your comments and your feedback. I would love to hear what you have to say about any of this episode.